I'm Oliver Trevina in studio for The Hollywood Reporter, joined by this man, Jimmi Simpson.
That's my name.
That is your name.
It is, sir.
Which is good.
It is.
Because it would be very
You got
awkward
the
if
right
I just
guy.
said Jimmi Simpson and you weren't sitting there.
Wait, nope, I shouldn't
Jimmy,
be here. Yeah.
come in. No, you
That's
are here.
me.
You are here, which is surprising because you are a busy man.
I've been a little busy lately, luckily.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've known you for a while,
Yes,
and we
yes.
all know the acting world. It's like that.
It's topsy-turvy.
And right now,
There's a slight incline that I'm grateful for, yeah.
yeah, it's good, mate.
Oh, thank you very
It's
much.
good,
I
it's
feel
good.
really, really lucky.
And juggling projects,
Mm-hmm.
which is something that, you know, must be tough. Going in from different roles and this thing to that thing.
It's difficult. 10 years ago, it would have been beyond my wildest dreams to be splitting a week between 2 days on Westworld and 3 days on Unsolved. When it's happening,
Right.
and you care so very much about everything, you realize, oh my God, the work that I have to do while still maintaining this artistic vision that I'm trying to do, it becomes more and more difficult. And so, yeah, I don't think I'd ever been stretched quite so thin as this past season when I was filming both those shows.
And not like simple roles either.
No,
There's
they're
a lot
pretty
of
complicated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's an understatement. I don't even know if complicated sums up these roles. So yeah, there's a lot in that.
Yeah, I'd never done so much homework than I had on Unsolved. And with Westworld, there was so much prep work that Lisa Joy and Jonah, the creators, had kind of given me to let me know what's coming, what to expect, and how they're hoping it plays out. So it was just going home, working, sleeping if you had time, and then finishing the next day, often on a different project.
Right. Keeps
Yeah.
you out of trouble though. Keeps you out of
It
trouble.
kept me so out of trouble. There was no trouble
There's
anywhere.
no trouble.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yes.
Sometimes. You mentioned Lisa Joy. She directed episode 4.
She sure did.
How was it working with Lisa on that?
She's a natural because I'd spent so much time with her on season 1. Somehow she had maintained a presence on the set of Westworld while writing the whole season and having like babies and already having a baby and adding to that baby. And so she was just always there and always had the answers.
Right.
And so when you're working on something so complicated,
Right.
as we discussed, like Westworld, when your creator has a brain that's 10 times the size of yours, it's so helpful.
Right.
So she just kind of dropped that into the director's chair, and she did her thing, and she was amazing at it.
Right.
I felt so comfortable. She knew the scenes that we were doing as if, well, because she had written them.
Right.
But she really had. And Jonah writes them with her as well. But I had not had her direct me yet, and she was perfect.
Right. And you mentioned that obviously there's so much that she has to do, the writers have to do. For William, I mean, the repetitive nature of the amount you have to do these scenes and the lines.
Sure.
It's a lot. It keeps going and going and going.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was that as an actor?
Well, it's just,
It's confusing. Is it confusing?
It's not confusing because as complicated as what they have you saying is, you understand at the very least what they mean.
Okay.
And if you don't, Lisa Joy and Jonah will explain it to you, and they'll connect the dots, and you're like, oh my God, it was right there in front of me. It's kind of like when you watch the show.
Right.
All the information is there. You might not be connecting the synapses.
Right.
And so if that ever doesn't happen, they have it, and then the world opens up to you all over again. So they're just endless resources, those two.
Right.
I would work for them. I would literally hold the boom mic for them on their next project. It's just such a pleasure to be around them.
That's lovely to hear.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And obviously, when you get the scripts, because it is complex and there's a lot in that, how much in advance do you get the material?
It depends.
Right,
It depends. Season 1, it was a little more touch and go. Things were a little bit more. We were catching up, basically, in season 1, because they were writing as we were filming, and at one point we beat them filming. And so at that point, as we started to bump into that, it was like, here's your scene for this episode. We're not showing you the episode yet because it's not done. And we're like, oh my God, okay, well, what happened before this scene? How is he feeling when he enters this scene? Because I don't know what happened. And then we got this break where the writers finished up the writing, and that happened in season 1. Season 2, I feel like they were prepped a little bit more, and they knew how hectic it would be. And so you got the scripts a little more in advance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like any intelligent being, Joan and Lisa. Like any intelligent being, Lisa, Joy, and Jonah, get better as they
Right.
as they do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And now William transferring human consciousness into the host bodies. I mean, there's a lot going. There's always a lot going on in the show, but I feel for William, you really don't know what's next.
Yeah, no, you don't. Well, because William doesn't even know what's next. Because
Right.
William is making huge decisions based on his emotional reality, which is temporary.
Right.
And so he's making these choices, and he doesn't even know what he's doing, in my opinion.
Okay. And now he's searching for immortality as well.
Oh, he's always searching for
Right.
immortality, but in regard to the park, I feel like William's emotions have led him to start making decisions that are dubious.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Even just watching you talk about it, there's so much going on, which is fascinating. Just to see someone talk about their character, that's really you're digging in, as we're talking.
It's so deeply rooted, and like even I, as Lisa Joy was explaining to me this season, she sat me down for a breakfast. That's how amazing she is. I was just like, I'm a little lost. All right, are you free tomorrow at 8? And we'll meet at this breakfast place,
Brilliant.
and I'll tell you everything. And I did, and I was like, oh my God. Oh, okay, holy shit. It's just mind-blowing.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll keep watching.
You've got it. Well, season 3 now. So
Yeah.
we get announced.
Yeah,
It's good.
yeah,
It's good.
yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, to
you
the
don't
world,
affect-
to the
and to the
world, I'm
world,
really
to
saying.
everyone that watches.
Yes.
Congratulations, you can continue to
We
watch.
get more.
It's a nice moment.
Yeah.
It's a
I
nice
didn't
moment.
doubt it. I didn't doubt it at all, but it's nice when it's officially
Okay.
announced.
Okay.
But yes, 3 is coming.
Okay. Here's a question from one of our editors. What do you think of the theory that the man in black built a host body of his own, and that the body is Simpson's version of the character? And is there any chance of a confrontation between the two versions of William?
That William, as we've seen
Right.
in the story,
Right.
is actually a host that the Man in Black has created.
Yes.
What do I think about that?
Yes.
I think that there's merit, but it's probably not the case.
Figured I was going to get something like that. Brilliant.
It's a great question, though, and
Yeah.
I love a good editor.
Okay. There you go. This is not here.
And that was
Not here.
smooth.
He's not here, actually. He's not here. He's in New York.
Won't he be here watching us?
He'd definitely be
As he
watching to
clips
make sure
and
I got the
cuts
question
our
right,
good
and I
bits
got his
together.
question in. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Everyone fires questions as soon as we have someone on from Westworld. People are just firing questions.
Oh yeah, they need to know. My family does that to me when I go home.
They do?
Holidays. Yeah, it's upsetting.
You just want some family time.
I really
Give Jimmy a break.
I wanted a little bit of mashed potatoes, and what I got
Was
was an inquisition.
Bunch of load of questions. There you have it. And another show that warrants a lot of questions. Black Mirror.
Yes.
Were you a fan going into that?
I was a
of the show?
huge fan.
Okay.
When I got this email saying that Black Mirror wanted me to come and do
Right.
an episode, I danced around like a little child.
And Jimmy's
squealing.
dancing is good. He's a good dancer.
It's awkward. Let's be honest, it's awkward. But yeah, I danced around, and I just was so grateful
Right.
because it was my favorite show to watch, and I didn't expect anything. And as I started reading the script, my mouth started. I'm like, oh my God, Charlie Brooker thinks I'm good. Like, this is such a good part.
Right.
I loved it.
Right.
And so then I just jumped headfirst into that.
The episode's great.
It's
very
beautiful.
fitting for you, I feel.
Okay.
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 And you had, I want to talk about this because it was quite an interesting intro that you had to filming the episode, right? The moulding and...
Oh, yes,
that was the moulding. That's all
Yeah.
I'm going to do.
No,
Okay?
that's-
I'll let you take it from here.
Well, okay. When I did arrive in England, it was my first job in England. So
Okay.
I was like, this is what it's like to work in England. And I got onto a little car, and they drove me off and said, oh, are we going to Pinewood Studios?
Yeah, it's lovely. Lovely
Yes, yes.
Pinewood,
And they
lovely
said,
Pinewood.
no, we're not. We're going off into the woods here. And we drove off into the woods to this little hobbit-like vessel, and there was an older man, sweet man in there, and he said, oh, I'm going to mold your bits. And then he took some plaster of Paris, and he started slapping on me. First he put like some drawers on to kind of protect the little thing, and then he molded all around, and then I was rock hard. I'm talking about the plaster of Paris, Oliver.
I know.
Why are you even laughing?
I was laughing
rock
because
hard all
I
in
laughed
this
at you
area.
being, it was rock hard.
And then they had to crack it with a thing.
And this was nothing to do with the show.
Fly it off.
This was just arriving in England.
No, this is just
This
my,
is just passport
my
control.
welcome to England
This is just
thing.
passport control in England.
This is passport control.
That's our immigration in England.
Yeah.
They take you to down a little country lane and mould you, and if it fits, welcome.
But clearly,
You're
that
in.
was Brooker's most essential part of the episode. We got to get that no bits part down, and so that's how we did it. Then I realized I had the flu. I had caught the nice sweet British flu, and that's what I had for the first 3 weeks of filming. It was the worst flu I'd ever had, but I did discover something called day nurse.
Day nurse. It's our version of Dayquil.
Crack. It's your
was
version of
Dayquil.
crack.
Dayquil
Okay.
or NyQuil.
No.
No, it's what you would say.
I've taken Dayquil and NyQuil, and those don't affect my mood in this way. Day nurse, I was half dead, and I was just like, let's film it. Let's do it. I'm ready. Let's do it. It was intense.
You know what? This could explain a lot. I had a lot of day nurse as a kid.
Yeah.
Now
okay.
it makes sense.
Were you having day nurse as a 4 and 5 year old?
Probably.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
I like the effect though.
yeah.
I like what happened.
You figured that out. You solved it.
Thanks.
You solved it. Unsolved.
Yes.
Let's talk about unsolved.
My God. Did you guys see that?
Did you see that? That just
From
happened.
one to the next.
One to the next. Unsolved. Yes.
Yeah.
Detective. And then a detective. And then I mean, you've jumped around quite a bit.
Yeah.
In the last couple of years.
I have.
Yeah.
I have. It's and I'd never played anyone quite so straight laced as Detective Russell Poole.
Right.
And so for me,
Even the way you just said Russell Poole and looked me in the eyes, it's completely different to the rest of the
did
interview.
that feel straight laced?
It felt very straight laced.
Point me.
Yeah.
That's 2 straight laced
Yeah,
things
that's
I've
good.
done now.
In fact, I thought you were going to start questioning me or grilling me about something.
Is this help if I go like that?
Yeah, thanks.
Is this
I feel a lot more
softer
comfortable
look?
now. I feel comfortable now.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah.
But truly, you start working, and then when people start responding to your stuff, you can't help but see, well, they like this, and they do this well, and then each actor will tell you they've got a little bag of tricks that they know they're pretty great at, and that they can drop it. And Russell Poole did not utilize any of my tricks, and I got there, and I tried to, because I was like, what if he's a little weird? What if he's really weird? And I did a read-through with that, and everybody loved it except for my director, Anthony Hemingway. He didn't say it. I just asked him a couple days later. I was like, so give me some feedback. That's just the first kind of rough sketch of Russell. And he's like, I like it, but don't make him weird. I was like, oh, I'm so screwed. I don't know what to do. And so then I just went into work, and I'm like, it's the job. And the guy is making jokes around me, but it's the job, and I'm going to try it. And every day I'd leave feeling, that's crap. And this is going to be the big Jimmi Simpson sucks role.
Right.
And I would tell
Definitely
Anthony that, and he'd be like, just trust me. And I'm like, okay, I'm trusting you. And then when he showed me the pilot, I was just like, thank you for your guidance and because it's some of my favorite work I've done, and it's because I was forced to step away from what I know how to do really, really well, and to try to do other stuff. I couldn't be more grateful, and I owe a lot of it to Kyle Long and Anthony Hemingway. Kyle's the writer creator, and Anthony's the director. I think he handled that show just brilliantly.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I love it. I love just listening to you talk, because the passion that you have for it really is amazing. I love it, Jimmy.
Oh,
it is.
Thanks, Oliver.
Known you for a while, but just the passion that you have for the art is
Well,
incredible.
I feel it,
and it
man.
shows.
I feel it. I'm really grateful and lucky, and I've been in the business for 20 years or so, and
Since you were 7.
it's nice. It's nice.
Carry on, Jimmy.
Just don't call attention to it. But yeah, I've been doing this for 20 years or so, and to be completely honest, the first 12 years, I was tasked with being funny, creepy, high-status dick, just all kinds of things that it wasn't what I looked up to when I was little. It wasn't the stuff that Richard Burton was doing, that Phil Hoffman was doing. And so there was a part of me that was like, this is not the most difficult job. And as I started getting roles that made me stretch, my respect for the craft has grown by 1,000%. Now, I cannot believe that I'm lucky enough to get these jobs. I cannot believe that people trust me to articulate these roles that are so well crafted and so important in pieces that are resonant. So yeah, the gratitude's real. I'm glad you feel it.
I feel it. I feel it, and I'm excited to see what's next.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, pleasure,
Thank
Jimmy.
you,
Thank you,
Oliver.
mate. Thank you.
Thank you.